Hi bowl bakers! Being a professional baker, you know I've got a real passion for bread and dough making. And if you follow me on my social media, you'll know that recently I got a beautiful Alpha Pizza wood burning oven all the way from Italy. I'm really excited to take our bread making and baking in general to a whole other level with this oven. The first recipe we're going to make are chocolate empanadas. So let's get baking. An empanada is a stuffed pastry pocket that is very popular in Latin countries. Generally, however, though, it is savoury, but today we are making a big and bold chocolate and caramel version. This recipe can also be made in a conventional oven, but I'm going to use my new pizza oven because it's great for baking and not just for bread making. Also, it's summer in LA, so why not cook outside? We're going to start out by making a basic chocolate shortcrust pastry. In a large bowl, we're going to sift together our flour, cocoa powder, icing sugar, salt, and cinnamon. The reason I like to sift all these ingredients together is because when you're making pastry, I like to get it nice and fine, and also I always find lumps in my cocoa powder, so I always like to give it a good sift before I use it. The next ingredient we're going to add in is cold cubed butter. All you want to do is rub it into your flour until you kind of get a coarse breadcrumb texture. Some big bits of butter and some small bits of butter. If you want to use a fork to rub in your butter, that's totally fine, go ahead. I just like to get kind of stuck in and to be able to feel my dough. The one thing you want to do is just not to overmix it too much. This is perfect. Like I said, rough breadcrumbs. Once your butter is nicely rubbed in, we're going to go ahead and add in our wet ingredients. Now I'm going to add egg yolks, and instead of adding water or milk, which you can do, I'm actually going to add in coffee. And this is a really good tip I got from a blog. Why not add that extra bit of flavour with the coffee, because it will work so well with the chocolate, the caramel and all the other ingredients once it's baked. I'm going to mix these two together in a separate bowl before adding them into the rest of the ingredients. I like to use my hands to bring my dough together, but feel free to use a spatula or a wooden spoon. With your hand, just bring all of the dough together. It should only take a minute to bring all your dough together with your hand and end up with a lovely clean bowl. It's a sign of a good dough. Wrap your dough in parchment or cling film, and we're going to pop it in the fridge for 30 minutes to let it rest and get nice and chilled. Once it's cold, it'll be much easier to roll out. And while it's in the fridge, we're going to get cracking on our filling. We are filling our empanadas with a beautiful dulce de leche. Now, if you haven't had this before, it is very similar to caramel and also quite a popular treat in Latin countries. That's why it'll work really well with the empanadas. Now, I've actually made this before in a previous video and it is really easy. In a pot of water, simmer a can of condensed milk for 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Then let it go totally cold, and inside your can, you will have a lovely caramel dulce de leche. It's been 30 minutes, our pastry is nice and rested, so it's time to roll it out. Generously flour your work surface. And then we're simply just going to roll out our pastry until it's 1/4 inch thick. Once your pastry is rolled out, we're going to take a large round cutter and cut all of our circles. The reason that I added cinnamon into this pastry is because I wanted to give the dish a little bit of extra spice and warmth, just like you would find in Latin cooking. I think it will work really well. With your pastry scraps left over, give them a quick knead together and then roll them out to make more empanadas. Just before we fill our empanadas, we're going to egg wash the outside of the pastry just to give them a nice seal and make sure they don't open up while baking. Next, take a spoonful of your dulce de leche and pop it on half of your pastry. I am always tempted to overfill pastry pockets, but then when I do, they explode in the oven, so definitely less is more with these guys. To seal your empanada, fold over the pastry until it hits the other seal, and then push out any air that there might be inside. Go around the rim and seal it with a fork. And then a little finishing touch that you'll see on some empanadas is a curled rim. And then with a fork, give a little pierce on top so you can let out steam while it's cooking. And there you have it, a beautiful little empanada. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of them ready, and then we're going to pop them in the oven. One thing that I like to do, but it's totally optional, is sprinkle a tiny bit of salt on top of the dulce de leche just to enhance all of the flavours of this little treat. Just before our empanadas go in the oven, we're going to give them a little bit of egg wash because you want to get a lovely shiny golden colour on the pastry. Our empanadas are ready to be baked. They're looking fantastic, so we're going to pop them in the oven. You want to bake your empanadas until they're lovely and golden brown. It'll take around 15 to 20 minutes, and I bake mine at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. Our timer's gone off and I can smell chocolate in the air, so I think our empanadas are ready. These look fantastic. Oh, they're lovely and golden brown. I wish you guys could smell these because they smell so good. So I'm definitely gonna have to cut one of these open right now and just have a little taste. Look at that. A nice, lovely thick layer of pastry and gooey warm caramel coming out. I'm really excited to try this guy. For me, this treat is perfect because the pastry is more rich than it is sweet, and then when you get to the caramel, it all balances out perfectly. It's just really delicious. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments below what recipes you'd like to see me make in my new oven. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I'll see you back here every Thursday for more bigger, bolder baking.